What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Caden, this is my channel, and I wanted to talk about tech today. So previous Tech Tuesdays, I was showing some coding videos out of coding series. That is in the description. If you haven't checked that out already, please go do that. You can learn some React there. But what I wanted to do today was actually just do more of a simple video and just kind of talk about some stuff. I want to talk about becoming a software engineer in 2022. So it's a great career for anybody out there who's interested. As many of you probably already know, it's it gives you a good income as well as a lot of good skills to just know in general. Plus, right now, with everything becoming more and more computerized, it just makes sense that that field is growing, and it definitely is. But more specifically, I wanted to touch on something that a lot of people have a misconception about, and a lot of people maybe... And some of those people probably let this misconception stop them from progressing on their path to become a developer or engineer. So what that is people often think to become an engineer or a developer, or whatever you want to call it, that you have to be super smart. You have to know math inside and out. You have to know science, all this and that. You have to like 3 college degrees. But that's just not the case. That's just not the case. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal journey, as well as just the general experience from people that you see on the online community. So personally, I do have a college degree. I have a degree in physics. I did a lot of computer science work as well. It wasn't really going to be my initial career path once I graduated, but through the struggle of getting a job at all, even with a degree, I kind of shifted gears and landed in tech. But I'm not going to go too far into detail on my story right now, maybe another time. But what I do want to say is that what I learned in college for computer science, I don't use any of it in my current position or my previous positions. And from my experience, a lot of people say the same thing. Now, not everybody's going to have that same story, but it is I feel like it's a wide notion that people have. So just be aware of that. Just know that you don't have to be super smart. You don't even have to have a college degree to become a developer. In some corporate positions, I could see that it does help to have a degree, but like I said, most people that have degrees don't use the information they learn there in their job. They either learn on the job or they taught themselves. Now, what I did was I did a couple of online courses. I think I did a Udemy course and I did a boot camp. I think it was Treehouse Boot Camp, if that's correct, if it's still called that. Shout out to them, though, because they were a free resource. And, you know, there's tons of free resources online is what I'm getting at. As long as you're consistent and you have a passion for what you're doing, anybody can learn to become a developer and anybody can make really, really good money doing it. Now, how I went about it is at very first, I learned HTML and CSS just for web development. My primary goal was to learn JavaScript, but I knew that it was kind of complicated, and looking at some of the stuff, I was like, I need to learn HTML and CSS first. Plus the courses were advising the same thing, this and that. So I learned those. I was making some piddly websites that were not that great. They looked ugly. I couldn't even get the alignment right most of the time. I just remember struggling a lot with that. But through that struggle, I found that I like designing websites. I like making stuff look nice when at first it looks really bad. So I found that passion in the coding, and that wasn't at school. I started teaching myself on YouTube, like going through finding things on YouTube to learn while I was working my job. See, my customer service job in 2019, I actually worked there from 2016 to 2019 at that position. I just kind of ranked up a little bit, but still customer service all the way through. During that job, there were times where it was so busy that we would have to stay an hour after, and I'd get off at 7 p.m. because I was a student going to college. So I'd work 3 to 7. I would get off at 7, and if during those busy times, we'd have to stay up to an hour late for weeks at a time. So I'd get off at 8, maybe 8:15. And then I'd have to get off my job and go do schoolwork and homework and study for tests and all that, which was not fun. But sometimes at that job, it would slow down, and it would get so slow that I would have free time. And so personally, what I did, how I was able to go about the self-learning journey, was in my free time at my job. It was a desk job. I literally just jumped on YouTube, started watching code videos, and just started to follow along that way. So I was lucky enough to have a job that gave me some room at certain times of the year where I was able to do that. And that's kind of what I did in 2019. I kind of at work while going to school, teaching myself to code. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything I learned in college for computer science isn't completely useless. the information about data structures and algorithms, that is useful. But I didn't get to the point where I was taking operating systems and all this. So maybe if you did, it's different. But my point still stands, and I'll say it again. Anybody can become a developer or an engineer if you want to. You just got to be consistent, and you have to have that passion. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, I think. I just wanted to touch on that. Probably the biggest misconception about software development is having a degree is necessary, and it's definitely not. So if you guys like these kind of videos, if it interests you, leave me a comment below. Of course, like the video, support me, show me that these are what you want to see, and I'll definitely make more. I have a couple more this style in mind before I jump back into another coding series or another coding video or something like that. And as always, guys, if you made it this far and you're still watching, that means you like it, or it means you're making fun of me or something. You're getting some sort of enjoyment. So you might as well support me because of it, right? So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, guys. Peace.